For centuries, Europe dominated the world. European empire ruled continents. Its industries powered the global economy. Its ideas shaped modern civilization. And after World War II, Western Europe became one of the richest and most stable regions on earth. But today, many analysts are asking a troubling question. Is Europe declining? Economic growth has slowed. Population are aging. Military power has weakened. And rising powers like China and India are changing the global balance. Meanwhile, America and Asia increasingly dominate the technologies and industries of the future. So, has Europe entered a period of decline? Or is the continent simply adapted to a changing world? Europe remains one of the wealthiest regions on earth. The European Union is one of the largest economies in the world. Its citizens enjoy a high standard of living, and countries like Germany, France, and the United Kingdom continue to wield enormous influence. But compared to the 20th century, Europe's share of global power is shrinking. The reasons behind this shift are complex, and understanding them requires looking at economics, demographics, energy, and geopolitics. 500 years ago, Europe stood at the center of the global affair. European Empire controlled Africa, Asia, the Americas. Britain ruled the seas. France possessed enormous influence. Germany became an industrial giant, but after two devastating world wars, Europe lost much of its dominance. The United States and Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, and today, rising powers such as China and India are reshaping the world once again. Europe is no longer the center of gravity. One of Europe's greatest challenges is population decline. Birth rates across much of the continent are below replacement levels. Countries such as Italy, Germany, Spain face aging populations. As societies age, workforces shrink, pensions costs rise, economic growth slows. Meanwhile, younger regions like Africa and South Asia continue to expand. Demographics may become one of the defining challenges of the 21st century. Europe lacks abundant energy resources. For decades, many countries depended heavily on Russian natural gas. This dependence created vulnerabilities. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Europe faced an energy crisis. Prices surged, industries struggled, and governments were forced to search for alternatives. Energy security has become one of Europe's biggest strategic concerns. Many of the world's most valuable technologies companies are American, others are Chinese. Europe, despite its strengths, has struggled to produce giants comparable to Apple, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia. The digital revolution largely occurred outside Europe. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and cloud computing are increasingly dominated by competitors abroad. Some economists worry that Europe risks falling behind in future industries. For decades, Europe relied heavily on American protection through NATO. As a result, many countries reduced military spending. But the war in Ukraine changed everything. European leaders realized that security could no longer be taken for granted. Countries like Germany have dramatically increased defense budgets, and debates about Europe's strategic independence have intensified. Compared to the United States, Europe's economic growth have been relatively slow. Factors include high energy cost, aging population, regulatory burden. While Europe remains wealthy, some analysts argue that its economics are becoming less competitive. Productivity growth has slowed, and innovations increasingly comes from elsewhere. Immigration has helped address labor shortages, but it has also created political debates. Questions surrounding identity, integration, and social cohesion have become increasingly important. Across Europe, populist movements have gained support. and immigration remained one of the continent's most divisive issues. Russia's invasion of Ukraine marked a turning point. The conflict exposed Europe's dependence on Russian energy, American military power, but it also united many European countries. Defense spending increased and NATO expanded with an addition of Finland and Sweden. The war demonstrated both Europe's vulnerabilities and its resilience. Despite these challenges, reports of Europe's collapse are greatly exaggerated. Europe remains rich, educated, technologically advanced. It possesses world-class infrastructure, strong institutions, and some of the highest standard of living on earth. Countries such as Germany, France, and the Netherlands remain economic powerhouse. Europe may be declining relative to others, but that does not mean it is weak. The coming decades will test Europe. Can it solve its demographic problems? Can it regain technological leadership? Can it strengthen its defense capabilities? And can it remain united? The answer to these questions will determine whether Europe experiences decline or renewal. So is Europe declining? In relative terms, perhaps. Its share of global power is shrinking and rising powers are changing the balance. But Europe remains one of the richest and most influential regions on earth. History is full of periods of rise and decline, and Europe's story is far from over. Because decline is not destiny, and the continent that once shaped the modern world may yet reinvent itself again.